As you know that today I have to discuss another landmark judgment which is regarding the Vijay Singh Chandubha Jadeja and another versus state of Gujarat and others. So my point is that if you see your casemate in the casemate and another is missing, here in the name of the state of Gujarat, in the same way, if you see your casemate and another is missing. So my point is that why I have added and another, why I here I have and others. So my point is that in this case there is not only one appellant or there is not only one respondent. In this case there is more than one appellant, and in this case there is more than one respondent. That's why proper name of this case is that Vijay Singh Chandubha Jadeja and another versus state of Gujarat and another other. If you see the original judgment, if you see the original judgment on the official website of the Supreme Court of India, in that case, it has been written that Vijay Singh Chandwa Jadeja versus State of Gujarat, and later on it has been written that along with some other appeal denotes that in this case there are more than one appeal. Regarding the statutes, as you know that first of all, I want to inform you that I have to discuss this leading case on the section 50 of the NDPS Act. As you know that in this particular case, not only section 51 is involved, some other provisions are also involved. For the example, section 41, section 42, section 43, section 50, section 57. It means some more other provisions are also involved. But my point is that in this case, main focus was on the interpretation of section 50 of the NDPS. As you know that if any case is decided, some ancillary provisions or some other statutory provisions are also quoted. But it happened that generally court concentrate on only one or two bare provisions. So as you know that in the previous class when I was discussing Karnail Singh versus state of Haryana, Honorable Supreme Court had emphasized on section 42 of the NDPS Act. At the time of teaching that case, I told you that even in that case, some provisions of section 50 and 57 were involved. But at that case, I focused only and only on the section 42. And in that case, I did not discuss section 50 thoroughly because I told you that when at the time of discussing the Vijaya Singh Chanduba case, I will discuss the section 50 thoroughly. So my point is that don't say that some more other provisions are also involved. Yes, some more other provisions are involved, but our focus should be on section 50 of the NDPS Act. Regarding the leading cases, as you know that this section is the very controversial, and again and again in the NDPS Act, if you search, if anyone asks on which particular section is the most important sections and under which provisions several cases comes. As you know that under the whole NDPS Act, section 50 is maximum times used and it is maximum times controversy arise regarding this particular section. That's why even in the 2018, some another landmark judgment has been quoted. Unfortunately, I am forgetting name of that case. There is some name is Muslim name, something like that. I am forgetting that name. In at that time, I will also discuss here in 2018 case. Okay, because once I will discuss the 2018 cases, that is the recent judgment you can quote. It means I have to discuss some important cases. For the example, state of Punjab versus Baldev Singh and Joseph Fernandez case, Prabha Shankar Dubey, Srimati Krishna Kanwar, and Vijay Singh Chandwa Jadeja. And another judgment I will discuss later on, which is another matter. But in your syllabus, Your syllabus, there is only one case is involved, that is Vijaya Singh Chandubha Jadeja. You may ask, sir, why are you discussing so many cases like the state of Baldev Singh case, Joseph case, Prabha case, Srimati Krishna Kanwar case? Whether it is a wastage of time or it in these cases these cases have some relevancy. So my point is that, as you know, that teaching is not merely a bare provisions or something. Teaching must be in such a way so that you can imbibe those provisions. It means without knowing the history of that particular case, you can never understand that particular case. That's why whenever I come to teach you, it is very difficult at the initial time, because as you know that first time I am teaching it and it creates a lot of difficulties. Even after investing 20 hours, 24 hours, if I becomes unable to understand even a particular case. It may be my capacity that I am not much more competent. Problem is that once I start to read the Vijay Singh Chandwa Jadeja, I started to read. First of all, I read State of Punjab versus Baldev Singh, thereafter Joseph Fernandez, thereafter Prabhas Shankar, Krishna Kanwar. Then I come to the Vijay Singh Chandwa Jadeja case. That's why it creates a lot of problem. Okay, no problems, but I will try to my best. Come to the facts of the Vijay Singh Chandwa Jadeja case. Facts of the case. Regarding the facts of the case, as you know, you are observing that case has been decided by the constitutional bench. And in the state of Punjab versus Baldev Singh, there was a case of the constitutional bench. Before going to start the Vijay Singh case, come to the state of Punjab versus Baldev Singh case. What happened in that case? There was a controversy among several judges of the high courts and supreme courts regarding the interpretation of section 50. It means single bench judgment was something different, division bench something different, full bench was something different, judgment of high court was totally different regarding the interpretation of section 50. When matter was pending before the Supreme Court, it may be either the full bench or division bench. Again, controversy arose regarding the interpretation of Section 50. As you know that when I was discussing the Karnal Singh versus State of Haryana, at that time I told you that the case has been referred to the Supreme Court, that is to the constitutional bench of the Supreme Court, only to resolve the controversy arised from Abdul Rasid and Sajan Ibrahim. It means in Karnal Singh case was decided on the basis of reference. Case was decided on the basis of reference. It means whenever question is referred on the reference, it means there is a controversy. It means there is a controversy regarding ratio of judgments of the Supreme Courts as well as High Court. That's why regarding the 47, controversy was settled down by the constitutional bench in the case of Karnal Singh versus State of Haryana. In the same way, what happened? There was a controversy. In this way, some question was framed and question was referred to the constitutional bench. When and constitutional bench in 1999 decided this case on which particular date is that the 21st July 1999. As you know that I always say in your classroom in offline that actual date of the decision might be different from the citation. That is the citation AIR, SSC, date of judgment. Each and everything is totally different things. Here I have quoted date of the judgment, date of judgment, date of judgment like this. If you, for the example, if you see the citation of Joseph Fernandez versus State of Goa in your casemate year will be 2001. 2000. In your casemate year will be 2000. If you see citation of Prabha Shankar Dubey in your casemate, year will be 2004. Sometimes students send a message, sir, you have written the wrong fully here, year is something different. No, I never write wrong. I accept that I surrender myself that I can't teach you, but whenever I teach, whatever I teach, I have faith and with some relevancy. The point is that why? Because here date of the judgment is December 2003 After the publication of judgment, there are several companies. For the example, AIR is a company, Supreme Court cases is a company, criminal law report is a company. These are the companies. Manupatra is a company. So what happened? After getting the original judgment, they refer to their editorial board. Editorial board analyze them, make some headings, make some briefs, make some abstract of the judgment, and in this process they generally take 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. It means whatever judgment comes in the AIR or SSC generally comes after the 2 months or 3 months. So for the example, here the date of the decision is December 2003. Of course, in the AIR, it will be 2004. Why? Because after the judgment, pronouncement of the judgment, they get the printout, they read, they calculate, they write summary, and in this way they publish in their book. In this way, that's why it takes some times. So my point is that here, even if you see the state of Punjab versus Baldev Singh case, constitutional bench had decided. If you see your case mate, again you will find the year 1990. In your case mate, it will be uh, 2000, while in the original judgment 1999. So my point is that there was some controversy, and that's why question was referred to the constitutional bench. And in the case of state of Punjab versus Baldev Singh case, constitutional bench decided the referred question, and the question was that regarding interpretation of section 50. Okay. After that case was settled, it was thought that now there will be no controversy. But what happened? Just after some other cases were decided by the full bench. Name of the case was Justice Fernandez versus State of Goa. According to the full bench, here all the three judgment, in all the three judgment, either Joseph, Prabhas, Srimati Kanwar, all the three judgment, what was discussed? In these three cases, nothing was discussed except ratio of the state of Punjab versus Baldev Singh. According to the according to the case of Joseph Fernandez, meaning of the section 50, whatever has been laid down in the state of Punjab case is this. But according to the meaning, according to the case of Prabhasankar, no, this is not the meaning. This is the meaning of section 50 according to the Baldev Singh case. According to the Krishna Kanwar case, Supreme Court said that no, this is not the meaning of section 50. This is the meaning according to the ratio of Baldev Singh case. My point is that what happened after the decision of the constitutional bench, although there was a ratio, but ratio was again interpreted in different manner. पहले तो एक कंट्रोवर्सी थी ही कि सारे जजमेंट अलग अलग आ रहे थे। एक बलदेव सिंह के जजमेंट से पहले के सारे अलग अलग जजमेंट आ रहे थे। तो ये हुआ कि भाई अलग अलग जजमेंट आएगा, अलग अलग रेशियो आएगा, तो ये अच्छा बात नहीं है। इसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच को रेफर करके इस डिस्प्यूट को सेटल कर दिया जाए। तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच को क्वेश्चन रेफर किया गया और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच ने स्टेट ऑफ पंजाब वर्सेस बलदेव सिंह के केस में उस डिस्प्यूट को खत्म कर दिया। अब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच को लगा कि ठीक है, अब कोई डिस्प्यूट नहीं होगा, हमारा ये रेशियो है, ये हमारे 7 पॉइंट है, इस 7 पॉइंट के बेसिस पर ये बाकी के केसेस डिसाइड होंगे। अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच कुछ दिन राहत महसूस कर रहा था, लेकिन तुरंत ही प्रॉब्लम आ गई। जोसेफ फर्नांडिस का केस डिसाइड हुआ। जोसेफ फर्नांडिस के केस में ही बलदेव सिंह के केस के रेशियो को चैलेंज कर दिया गया। अब ये हुआ कि जोसेफ फर्नांडिस के केस में सातों जो रेशियो थे बलदेव सिंह के केस के, उसको डिस्कस किया गया और कहा गया कि इसका ए मीनिंग नहीं, ए मीनिंग होगा। मैं सब बताऊंगा धीरे धीरे, इंट्रोडक्शन दे रहा हूं तुम लोगों को। तो इस तरह से एक मीनिंग, उस रेशियो का मीनिंग आ गया। प्रभास शंकर के केस में फिर कंट्रोवर्सी राइज हो गई और दोबारा से बलदेव सिंह के केस के रेशियो को डिस्कस किया गया, फिर से वो आ गया। लेकिन जब श्रीमती कृष्णा का जब केस डिसाइड हुआ तो इस जजमेंट की एक और पॉइंट था। इन दोनों केस में जोसेफ का और प्रभा का एक ओपिनियन था। जोसेफ और प्रभा का एक ओपिनियन था, लेकिन कृष्णा का एक अलग ओपिनियन था। अब ये हुआ, एक टेबल छोटा सा बना रखा हूं, दिखाना तो नहीं चाहता था लेकिन देख तुम सबको भी। एक देखो, ये रेशियो आया स्टेट ऑफ पंजाब वर्सेस बलदेव सिंह का रेशियो आ गया। इस रेशियो के बाद क्या हुआ, इंटरप्रिटेशन शुरू हुआ। जब रेशियो इंटरप्रिटेशन हुआ तो इसमें जोसेफ का केस और जोसेफ और प्रभा का केस एक साइड में थे। मतलब इनका कहना था कि सब्सटेंशियल कंप्लायंस सफिशिएंट है। अगर किसी सेक्शन का सब्सटेंशियल कंप्लायंस अगर हो जाए तो सफिशिएंट है। जैसा कि हम सेक्शन 42 के रिगार्डिंग जब डिस्कस कर रहे थे तो साजन अब्राहम के केस में क्या कहा गया, यही कहा गया था ना सेक्शन 42 के रिगार्डिंग सब्सटेंशियल कंप्लायंस इज सफिशिएंट। लेकिन वहीं अब्दुल इब्राहिम के केस में कहा गया था कि अब्दुल राशिद के केस में कहा गया था कि नहीं नहीं, सब्सटेंशियल कंप्लायंस इज नॉट सफिशिएंट, इट इज ए मैंडेटरी प्रोविजन। तो इसी तरह का यहाँ पर भी कंट्रोवर्सी हो गया। प्रभास शंकर का केस और जोसेफ का केस कहता था कि सब्सटेंशियल कंप्लायंस इज सफिशिएंट। लेकिन कृष्णा कन्वर का केस जो कह रहा था कि नो, सब्सटेंशियल कंप्लायंस इज नॉट सफिशिएंट एंड इट इज ए मैंडेटरी प्रोविजंस एंड दिस इज द रेशियो ऑफ दिस केस। अब यहाँ पर ग्रुप ग्रुप में डिवाइड हो गया। जैसे कई बार क्या होता है कि टीचर एक बात बोलकर चला जाता है, क्लास में बात हो गया। अब स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, उसी का इंटरप्रिटेशन लगाना शुरू कर देते हैं कि टीचर ने ये कहा, उसने कहा कि नहीं ये कहा। उस बात पर कंट्रोवर्सी आ गई। जब उस बात पर दो ग्रुप बन गए तो फिर से तुम टीचर के पास गए, मतलब फिर से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच के पास जाओगे और फिर से जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच डिसाइड करेगा वो अब फाइनल होगा। तो यहाँ पर ये है, जो तुम्हारा बलदेव सिंह का केस है, तो मान लो कि एक टीचर है जो क्लास में कुछ कह करके चला जाता है, कहा कि ये बात सही है। लेकिन वहां पे दो ग्रुप बनते हैं, एक ग्रुप में जोसेफ और प्रभा का ग्रुप है और दूसरा ग्रुप श्रीमती कृष्णा का ग्रुप है। दोनों इसका अलग अलग इंटरप्रिटेशन कर देते हैं कि नहीं, मुरारी सर का कहना था कि नहीं, हाँ लड़कियों को सिगरेट पीना चाहिए। कुछ का नहीं नहीं, वो मेंटली डिस्टर्ब आदमी है, वो ठीक है नहीं है। तो इस तरह का अचानक ग्रुप बन जाता है। जी सेक्शन वाले तो पहले बना लेते हैं अंतराल से ग्रुप। तो इस तरह का जो होता है, अब एक ग्रुप बन गया। तो अब फिर से तुम जब आओगे टीचर के पास, दैट इज विजय सिंह के केस के पास, तो यहाँ फिर से बताएगा कि भाई जो मैं क्लास में कहा हूँ, जो मैं स्टेट ऑफ पंजाब के केस में जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच ने कहा था, उसका मीनिंग क्या है, उसका मीनिंग क्या होना चाहिए। तो इस तरह का तुम लोगों का शायद कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो गया होगा। अब इसको लेकर के हम थोड़ा सा आगे मूव करेंगे। तो मतलब ये है कि माय पॉइंट इज दैट इन द विजय सिंह की चंदुबा केस, डोंट ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट वेदर देयर वाज ए कन्विक्शन और एक्विटल। देखो रेफरेंस का क्वेश्चन आता कैसे है, मैं तुम लोग को एक बेसिक चीज बता देता हूँ। रेफरेंस हमेशा एक केस पेंडिंग हो जाएगा। जैसे मान लीजिए कि विजय सिंह का केस डिस्प्यूटेड है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फुल बेंच के सामने डिस्प्यूटेड है। अब उसमें जब डिस्प्यूट होगा तो आर्गुमेंट एराइज हो जाएगा। तो उस केस को, हियरिंग को कुछ दिन के लिए रोक दिया जाएगा कि वास्तव में विजय सिंह का कन्विक्शन होगा कि एक्विटल होगा। इस बात को थोड़ा दिन के लिए रोक दिया जाएगा। कहा कि भाई अब हियरिंग यहाँ पे रुकेगी कि तुमने क्राइम किया है कि नहीं किया है। लॉ का पॉइंट कुछ डिस्प्यूटेड है, पहले उसको क्लियर हो जाने दो, इसके बाद हम तुम्हें बताएंगे। तो मतलब ये हुआ कि जैसे कि इस केस में विजय सिंह के केस को रोक दिया गया हियरिंग को, और क्वेश्चन फ्रेम किया गया, क्वेश्चन कि भाई सेक्शन 50 का क्या मीनिंग है। सेक्शन 50 में एक वर्ड आता है, मैं बताऊंगा। तो अब उस क्वेश्चन को रोक करके जो फुल बेंच है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच को रेफर कर देगा, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच ये सिर्फ कहता है कि भाई इसका आंसर ये होगा। रेफरेंस में कभी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच ये नहीं कहेगा कि विजय सिंह का कन्विक्शन होगा कि एक्विटल होगा। रेफरेंस का मतलब सिर्फ इतना ही बात है, आपसे पूछा जाएगा कि इसका आंसर यस होगा कि नो होगा, बस उतना आप रिप्लाई करना है। बाकी कन्विक्शन एक्विटल जब आपका आंसर आ जाएगा, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच का आंसर आ जाता है, तब विजय सिंह के केस को दोबारा से स्टार्ट कर दिया जाएगा और आर्गुमेंट होगा कि भाई तुमने क्राइम किया है कि नहीं किया है। इसीलिए जो रेफरेंस के केसेस आ रहे हैं, जैसे करनैल सिंह का केस था, जैसे विजय सिंह का केस है, रेफरेंस के केस आते ही सबसे पहले जो पीछे के केसेस होते हैं उसको डिस्कस करना पड़ता है। ये रेफरेंस का है। इस पॉइंट को तुम लोग अगर ध्यान से नहीं पढ़ोगे, नहीं समझोगे, तो कभी खुद से पढ़ करके पढ़ाना पड़ गया हमारी तरफ से, बहुत ही मुश्किल हो जाएगा। इस तरह से ये पॉइंट था। तो आई वांट टू समराइज विद इन 2 मिनट्स व्हाट वाज द पॉइंट। In the case of Vijay Singh Chandubha Jadeja versus State of Gujarat, question was regarding the interpretation of Section 50 of the NDPS Act, and there was a controversy just after the enactment of the Section 50 of the NDPS Act 1985, and that controversy regarding interpretation of Section 50 was settled down by the Constitutional Bench in the case of State of Punjab versus Baldev Singh on July 21st, 1999. But again, regarding the interpretation of the ratio of the constitutional bench, that is the ratio of Baldev Singh case, again become disputed. Why? Because one side, Joseph case and Prabhasankar case, in these two cases, a full bench and division bench said that substantial compliance of Section 50 is sufficient. But on the another side, Srimati Krishna Kanwar case, it was said that no, substantial compliance is not sufficient. Then it is a question. So question again was referred to the constitutional bench, that is the Vijay Singh Chandubha Jadeja case, and finally in 2010, Supreme Court settled down controversy regarding interpretation of Section 50, and at present time there is no controversy regarding Section 50, because whatever case I will discuss in 2018, that is judgment, even in that judgment, court clearly said that there is no controversy. Whatever issue has been laid down in the Vijay Singh case in 2010, that is the good law. If you see your casement here in your citation will be 2008. Don't see the citation. Whenever I write the judgment of the case. Come to the Vijay Singh case. What was the question referred to the reference? What was the question came before the constitutional bench? There was a two question. There was a two question. There was only one question, but it was framed in two manners. First was that whether Section 50 of the NDPS Act cast a duty. This is the important point. This is the important point. Whether the Section 50 of the NDPS Act cast a duty on the empowered officer to inform the suspected of his right to be informed, or it is merely inquiry. A question is that whether Section 50 imposes duty or mere inquiry is sufficient. So my point is that first of all, I will discuss the Section 50, because without discussing, without knowing the Section 50, it is, I feel uncomfortable to how to interpret these two questions. That's why let us discuss Section 50 first of all. Then again I will come to the reference. Parth, हेलो, अच्छा अभिषेक, इसको थोड़ा सा मैं इसको सब्स्टिट्यूट करूंगा, इस पार्ट को, क्वेश्चन ऑफ रेफरेंस को जो है
जी
इसको
सर,
अप डाउन करूंगा. इसको मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि पहले Section 50 बेटर रहेगा डिस्कस करना, क्योंकि जब हम कंफ्यूज हो जा रहे हैं तो तुम लोग तो हो ही जाओगे. Come to the Section 50. What is the Section 50? Because in the previous at present time I told you that the most important sections which were discussed in Vijay Singh case were discussed regarding the Section 50. That's why you are now question arrived to discuss the Section 50. So what is the Section 50? Then I will discuss. Section 50. In Section 50 talks about the conditions under which search of persons shall be conducted. The most important point is that here, most controversial point is that conditions under which search of persons. What is the meaning of persons? This is the very important point. Whether person includes bare body of the man, woman, whatever might be there, or it includes its ड्रेस. जैसे मान लीजिए तो आदमी एकदम पूरा नेक्ड होता है, क्या उसका सर्च की कैटेगरी में आएगा? तो सिंपल है कि if he is totally naked, what is the need to search that persons? Second point is that whether dress will covered under the category of search of persons. Of course, dress will be covered under the category of search of persons. Third question is that whether he is carrying bag, suitcase, whatever he is carrying, will come under the category of persons. On this point, regarding the third point, answer will be divided into two parts. Answer will be divided into two parts. If police authority is making search only the suitcase or only the carrying bag, in that case, section 50 will not attract, because in that circumstances section 50 will not cover. But suppose second part is that if the police is searching body as well as carrying bags, it means in that time carrying bag will be in that time section 50 will be attracted. Why? Reason is not due to searching of the bags. Reason is that searching of the persons. It means at the time of searching the persons, whatever you have searched, for all these things, section 50 will be attracted. Near about there are 10 to 20 questions regarding what is the meaning of searching of the persons. In this particular case, section 50 does not talks about the searching. At present case, does not talks about the searching of the person, but later on another cases I will discuss on that point. The point is that here in the brief, for the brief knowledge, you can say that searching of persons, section 50 will be applicable only in case of searching of persons. It will not be applicable in searching of the goods. That's why section 50 are the important points. Section 50 will be divided into two parts. Original class, it means this class were from the very beginning since 1985. Class 1 to 4, these were the original class. Later on in 2001, that is the what is the date of the enforcement of the 2001? As you know that the tomorrow is the birth anniversary of Mr. Mahatma Gandhi ji, and that is the 2nd October. That's why NDPS Act, whatever amendment was done in 2001, a date of enforcement of that amendment was the 2nd October 2001. In this way, you can remember this deadline, that is the when it was inserted. So my point is that, as at the time of discussing Karnal Singh case, I also discussed amendment in 2001 regarding the section 42 clause 2. What was the 42 clause 2? As you know that earlier there was forthwith, report will be sent forthwith. So forthwith. But after the amendment in 2001, word is that report shall be sent within 72 hours. It means regarding the section 742 class 2, forthwith was substituted by the word 72 hours. Here, as you know that class 5 and 6 were inserted. What was the object of inserting of these provisions, that is the 5 and 6? These provisions, class 5 and 6 were inserted. The reason was that to make some relaxation, to give some more power, to give some more relaxation in favor of the searching authority. It means class 5 and 6 are totally favorable to the searching authority. So first of all, there are two parts, class 1 to 4 original, class 5 and 6 were inserted. That's why I have divided into two parts. Come to the class 1. What is the class 1? As you know that in the semester exam, any student think that without writing the section 50, he can write the casement and get the good marks. It is not possible. At least you write something about the bare provisions. If you are not able to write bare provisions, how can we understand whether you have read the bare provisions or not? Because casemate, what is the casemate, and the bare provisions, what is the difference? As you know that in the BHU, Allahabad, Aligarh University, trend is that teaching of the bare act and the books. But in University of Delhi, here process is that teaching of the casemate. Do you know why we do not emphasize on the bare provisions? Why we emphasize on the casemate? Reason is that it is presumed that students are well known about the bare provisions. That's why there is no need to discuss that things. ये प्रिज्यूम कर लिया जाता है कि हम केसमेट जब डिस्कस करने चलेंगे तो स्टूडेंट्स बियर प्रोविजंस पढ़ चुका है, उसको जानकारी हो चुकी है, जबकि रियलिटी एकदम टोटली डिफरेंट होती है। कई बार तो होता है कि आईपीसी सीआरपीसी तक का बियर प्रोविजन नहीं मालूम रहता है, ये तो एनडीपीएस की बात होती है। इसीलिए हम देखते हैं कि यूपी बिहार की जो जुडिशरी का एग्जाम आता है तो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट्स कहीं ना कहीं पिछड़ जाते हैं। उनका सबसे बड़ा उसका रीजन यही होता है कि उसका बेयर एक्ट पे प्रोविजन पे बेयर एक्ट पे पकड़ बहुत ही कम होती है। लेकिन जब डीजीएस की बात आती है तो यहाँ पे केस बेस्ड प्रॉब्लम होता है, और यहाँ पे बाकी यूनिवर्सिटी के बच्चे पिछड़ जाते हैं क्योंकि वे बेयर प्रोविजन को याद करने में ज्यादा ध्यान रखते हैं। ये सबका अपना प्लस माइनस है, but my point is that what is the best thing is that first of all you try to understand the their provisions. Without knowing the seed you can't understand about the branch. So my point is that you should always concentrate on the seed as well as branch. The section 50 class 1, because I will interpret in whole the cases, I have to discuss only the meaning if such person so requires. What is the meaning of if such person so requires? To interpret this, I have discussed all the 5 cases, whether in the case of Punjab versus Baldev, Joseph, Prabha, Krishna, Vijay Singh. All these things will interpret what is the meaning of if such person so requires. So this is the landmark point I will discuss, and you know that this is the most important point you in the class 1. Class 50 says that when any officer duly authorized under section 42. So what is the first condition regarding the application of section 50 clause 1? It means section 50 clause 1 is applicable only in those cases when the searching of the person is going on only by those officers who are authorized under section 42. You may ask, sir, what is the section 41, 42, 43? My point is that all the 41, 42, 43 talks about the searching method of searching the person and goods like that. Section 41 talks about searching searching with warrant, 42 searching without warrant, 43 searching at the public place. So my point is that here we are covering only those officers who are authorized under section 42. Here we are not talking about another point. We are talking authorization must be under section 42. And that officer is about to search. Most important word here is that about to search. It means he has not completed search. Just before he is about to start searching, is about to search. Once he had searched, then no question arises regarding application of section 50. It means section 50 clause 1 is applicable only and only when the police officer is about to search. It means when he has not completed his search. The most important word in this word is about to search. Any person means male, female, whatever is that, is about to search any person. And according to which provisions? According to the provision section 41, with warrant, 42 without warrant, search at public place. Any police officer authorized under section 42 is about to search. He shall. Question is that he shall. Now point disputed arise that what is the meaning of he shall. Whether he shall, that is the point is that whether it is mandatory. What is the meaning of shall? I will discuss here. He shall, if such person so requires. See the word to comma, he shall, comma, if such person so requires, comma. I always say that at the time of reading the Bare Act, if any sentence is between two commas, that sentence you may put hither and thither, there is no any problem. There is no any problem. For the example, you can put if such person in the starting. How to read this? No, it is, I think it may be some problem in the understanding, because if such person here, such word has also been used, that's why it may create some problem. He shall, if such person so requires, such person means that person's whose search is going to be conducted. If such person so requires, for the example, in layman, you can say that suspected person. Suspected person, that is not the accused. There is a big difference between the accused and suspected persons. In the case of Sharma, at the time of discussing the Article 20, Class 3, accused and suspected persons, meaning of both has been discussed thoroughly. The here point is that if such person so requires, for the example, suspected persons. For the example here, Parth is the suspected persons and Akhilesh is the officer authorized under section 42. Akhilesh is the officer authorized under section 42. And he is about to search of whose search? Personal search of the Parth. And Akhilesh has some suspicion that Parth might have taken some contraband goods like that. And he will ask from the Parth and take such person without unnecessary delay. Point is that there are two options for the Parth. Parth said that, what is the option for the Parth? Wait for 1 minute. If he shall, that officer shall take such person without unnecessary delay, to whom? To the nearest gazetted officer or to the nearest magistrate. Here, gazetted officers, only those gazetted officers which are prescribed under section 42. It means not each and every gazetted officer, only those gazetted officers who are prescribed under section 42 are to the nearest magistrate. Point is that in the layman, according to section 50 class 1, if any police officer who is authorized under section 42 is about to conduct search of the person, according to section 41, 42, 43, he shall ask, may I search you personally, or may I present you in front of the gazetted officer or magistrate. It means this is the option. What is the option? What is the purpose of this option? एक मिनट और, इसमें कह रहा है कि अगर पुलिस ऑफिसर आपको अरेस्ट करने के लिए आ रही है और आपको पुलिस आपसे पूछेगी, भाई अगर हमारे पे भरोसा है तो मैं तुम्हारा सर्च कर लूं, अगर हमारे पर भरोसा नहीं है तो मैं तुम्हें चलो सीनियर ऑफिसर के पास ले चलता हूँ, गजिस्ट्रेट ऑफिसर के पास ले चलता हूँ, मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने ले चलता हूँ, वहीं पर मैं तुम्हारा सर्च करूंगा, ताकि तुम्हें रिलायबल रहे। मिसयूज पावर या पावर के मिसयूज को प्रिवेंट करने का एक तरीका ही है। अदरवाइज क्या होगा, जैसे मान लीजिए हमारी दुश्मनी अखिलेश से है, अखिलेश क्या करेगा, आएगा और हमारे सामने सर्च करेगा और सर्च के नाम पर क्या करेगा कि थोड़ा सा अफीम रख देगा हमारी जेब में, हमारे घर में, हमारे पॉकेट में अफीम रख देगा, या नहीं भी रखेगा, अरेस्ट करके लेकर चला जाएगा थाने में और बंद कर देगा और थोड़ा सा अफीम कहीं से ले करके दिखा देगा कि यहाँ मुरारी के पॉकेट से मैंने सर्च किया और 50 ग्राम अफीम मिला। अब मुरारी पूरी जिंदगी भर जेल में सड़ जाएंगे उसी तरह से। बात समझ में आया ना? तो इस तरह का पुलिस बहुत कांड करती है, इसीलिए पुलिस को पावर नहीं दिया गया है। इसीलिए विक्टिम को कहा गया है, सस्पेक्टेड पर्सन को कहा गया है कि अगर तुम्हारे पास कोई पुलिस आती है, चेक करने के लिए आती है और तुम्हारा पर्सनल सर्च करती है, क्योंकि पुलिस क्या करती है, इस सर्च के नाम पर आपके बॉडी को भी टच करना शुरू कर देगी और आप जो भी हो, चाहे लड़का हो चाहे लड़की हो, आप अनकंफर्टेबल महसूस करेंगे। क्योंकि पुलिस को हमेशा माना जाता है कि नेसेसरी एविल। नेसेसरी एविल का मतलब है कि जिसका मतलब एविल तो है, बुराई तो है, लेकिन जिसके बिना सोसाइटी रन भी नहीं कर सकती। तो ये वर्ड आता है नेसेसरी एविल। पुलिस इज द नेसेसरी एविल फॉर द सोसाइटी एंड पुलिस इज ए सिंबल दैट सोसाइटी इज नॉट द सिविलाइज्ड। तो इसीलिए यहाँ पे इस पुलिस के आर्बिट्रेरी पावर को, किस तरह का आर्बिट्रेरी पावर यूज न करे, इसलिए व्यक्ति को, सस्पेक्टेड पर्सन को राइट दिया गया है, अगर आपको पुलिस ऑफिसर पे डाउट होता है तो आप रिक्वेस्ट करिए कि नहीं भाई तुम मेरा सर्च मत करो, मुझे तुम गजेटेड ऑफिसर के पास लेकर के चलो, वहीं उसके सामने सर्च करना, ताकि जो भी है ट्रूथ रहे, इस तरह का पॉइंट बनता है। तो यही इस पे कह रहा है कि इफ पर्सन सो रिक्वायर्स, अगर इस तरह का व्यक्ति डिमांड करता है, तब आपको मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने या गजेटेड ऑफिसर के पास ले जाने की जरूरत है। अगर डिमांड नहीं करता है, कहता है कि नहीं भाई मैं तो ठीक है, तुम ही सर्च कर लो, हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, तब आप वहां पर पुलिस भी सर्च कर सकती है। लेकिन एक बात और बता दूं, अगर किसी ने डिमांड कर दिया कि हाँ तुम मुझे सर्च, पर्सनली सर्च नहीं कर सकते हो, तुम मुझे मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने ले चलो, अगर पुलिस ने इस तरह का किया, सर्च किया, तो उसका आईपीसी में भी क्राइम होगा, और यहाँ पर एक्यूड का एक्विटल हो जाएगा। एकदम मैंडेटरी प्रोविजन है, इसको इंटरप्रेट बाद में करूंगा, तो बेसिक तुम्हें समझ में आ गया होगा। अगर रिक्वायर करता है तब तो जनरली पुलिस क्या करती है, एक फॉर्मेट तैयार करती है। फॉर्मेट में सीधा सीधा लिखा रहता है, जो केसेस मैं डिस्कस किया हूँ जोसेफ का, प्रभा का, उस फॉर्मेट में क्या करता है सब, कि वो लिखवा लेता है कि भाई मैं पुलिस थाना जो भी है करके, आई एम गोइंग टू सर्च यू, हैव यू एनी प्रॉब्लम, इफ नो देन राइट साइन लाइक दिस। तो अब क्या करता है कि साइन ऑन करवा लेता है, इस तरह का होता है। तो ये बहुत ही मैंडेटरी प्रोविजन है। दैट्स माय पॉइंट इज दैट यू शुड ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस, इट इज a safety for the woman, man, whatever might be that, and this is the important point. So first is that when any officer duly authorized under section 42, and if he wants to search according to section 41, 42 or 43, he must ask, he must ask. The point is that, question is that whether it is a duty to ask, अब यहीं पे क्वेश्चन आएगा, क्या उसकी whether it is a duty of that police officer to ask, or merely sharing information, that is the sufficient. Regarding this word, there is a interpretation, there is a reference, whether this section 50 casts a duty to ask, are you interested to search before the gazetted officer or magistrate, or mere inquiry is sufficient. Yeah, this is the point. Here inquiry and duty, this is the disputed point. And this disputed point is regarding to the if such person so requires. Whether the police is bound to inform, whether it is a duty of the police, or mere sharing information other manner, that is the sufficient. On this point there will be controversy. So my point is that if in one line, section 50 deals about, there are two purposes of the section 50. First purpose is that to protect the innocent persons, and gives him right to be searched before the gazetted officers or the magistrate. And second purpose is that to control the capricious and whimsy mind of the police authority. अगर ऐसा नहीं होगा तो बहुत सारे केसों में हम देख रहे हैं, गरीब आदमी को क्या करता है, अरेस्ट करके लेकर चला जाता है, जब कुछ भी नहीं मिलता है तो कहीं से दिखा देता है कि 10 ग्राम गांजा इसकी जेब से मिला हुआ था। अब 10 ग्राम गांजा डाल करके रख देगा, आपको एफआईआर कर देगा एनडीपीएस एक्ट के अंतर्गत, और पूरी जिंदगी आप सड़ जाएंगे, बेल भी नहीं मिलने वाला है। तो बड़े मुश्किल हालात हो जाते हैं, तो पुलिस ऐसा करती है। गाजीपुर के साइड में हम लोगों को तो बहुत इस तरह की घटनाएं मालूम है कि बहुत सारे केसेस में ऐसा होता है। तो सेक्शन 50 का ये वैल्यू है। और हमें लग रहा है कि क्लास का टाइम हो गया, 5 मिनट बचा है, कुछ बचा होगा, बस 1 मिनट बचा है, 5 मिनट। अब क्लास सेकेंड पर हम आ जाते हैं। क्लास सेकेंड कह रहा है, if such requisition is made, if such requisition is made means if the police, if the suspected person said that yes, 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 don't touch me, I have, please present me in front of the gazetted officer or magistrate, you don't touch me, you don't touch me, it means yes, don't touch, it means don't touch. In that case what would be happen, the officer, so what is the meaning of the officer? The officer means that officer who was authorized under section 42 and he was about to search, and to whom person is required to be presented before the magistrate. The officer, what he can do? The officer may detain the person until he can bring him before the gazetted officer are must referred to in subsection 1. So my point is that if person requires, the police has two options. Either he may present without detaining him. If he is ready voluntarily, there is no chance of running away. In that case, there is no need to detain. But if the police officer think that he may run away, in that case he may detain. But only he may detain. Maximum he may detain, but he can't make personal search. This is the class 2. Class 3, what would be happen?
सर सर कितने टाइम तक डिटेन करके रख सकती है पुलिस?
देखो, टाइम पर डिटेन करने का तो यहाँ पे कुछ इस तरह का नहीं है, लेकिन किसी भी मामले, सुनो, किसी भी बता रहा हूँ ना, किसी भी मामले में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट जो है आर्टिकल 22 क्लास 2 के अंतर्गत जो 24 आवर है चीट नहीं कर सकता। इसलिए एक बार क्या हुआ था कि यूपी के मेंस में क्वेश्चन आ गया था, 2015 का एक क्वेश्चन था। उसमें हुआ क्या था कि सीआरपीसी के अंतर्गत ये नहीं लिखा गया था कि कुछ एक सेक्शन 50 के अंतर्गत कुछ पॉइंट था, सेक्शन 50 और सेक्शन 22, आर्टिकल 22 का कंट्रोवर्सी था। तो उस कंट्रोवर्सी के रिगार्डिंग फाइनली ये माना गया कि जहां सीआरपीसी साइलेंट है वहां पे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट प्रिवेल करेगा। अगर साइलेंट नहीं भी रहता, कंट्राडिक्टरी भी रहता, तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट ही सुपरसीड करता। तो कोई भी लॉ ऑफ लैंड है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट को सुपरसीड नहीं कर सकता। अगर जहां पे साइलेंट नहीं है, मान लो कि वहां पे आर्टिकल 22 तो कम से कम लगेगा ही। और इसमें इस तरह कोई टाइम लिमिट नहीं है। अगर मुझे मिलेगा फ्यूचर में बाय चांस, क्योंकि मैं अभी एनडीपीएस पूरा नहीं पढ़ा हूँ, अगर मुझे मिलेगा तो तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन याद रहेगा, मैं रिप्लाई कर दूंगा, ठीक ना?
ओके सर, ओके
हाँ, तो इन दिस केस पॉइंट इज दैट सेक्शन 3 talks about that gazetted officer are musted before whom that person has been brought shall, what he will do, there will be two options. If there is no reasonable grounds, forthwith discharge. No reasonable grounds, forthwith discharge. If there is a reasonable ground, he will direct for the search. It means your gazetted officer have two options. In case of no reasonable grounds, discharge immediately. If he has reasonable grounds, they made direction for the search. So these are the class 3. It means you can remember in a very sequence manner. If the suspected person requires, what will be class 2? He will be brought before the gazetted officer or magistrate. What will be procedure if he is brought before the gazetted officer or magistrate? Procedure is that either discharge if there is no reasonable ground. If there is reasonable grounds, it may direct for further search. Class 4 is that no female shall be searched by anyone excepting the female. This is, as you know, that in the CRPC, IPC, every law talks about that female must be searched only by the female officer. These are the 4 classes. Regarding the class 5 and 6, I will discuss in the next class, and I will discuss one by one. I may take 2 classes on this particular case. I hope that you have enjoyed my class, and thanks everyone.